Hello, folks. Johnny Moe here, and this is going to be sort of a primer, little showcase of my simple solo system for Adventure 26. And right here we have two characters that I'm going to be playing in my playthrough of the Holler, which is going to be a little bit uh, I guess if you have ever listened to Old Gods of Appalachia, sort of like that, just in sort of a fantasyland environment. So, what you'll see with these cards, since it's my own little hacked up system of a bunch of different games, is the cards that I use. If I could fit any character sheet onto a card, I absolutely will. These are a lot easier to port around and keep track of, and I can erase them. Cards are pretty cheap, and if need be, I can just tape on like an extra card that lists equipment or any magical items or anything that they find. But the system runs very similar to the game Ronin, where you have sort of a bonus and a defense score. And for the simple soloing system, when you first start out, it doesn't matter what order they're in, just as long as the numbers equal 4. So, I should probably explain what MAP is. So in Omen, I like just having 4 uh, in terms of ability scores, just 3 aspects of a character. M being might, their body, anything that they're going to be doing with their body, strength wise, dexterity wise, uh, trying to sneak, stuff like that. I'll just like, okay, this sounds like a might roll in order to overcome the obstacle in the way, because it's not always just like combat. Sometimes it's you got to move a boulder, or you got to keep a door shut from something that's trying to break in, or just hanging on by a ledge. It's just kind of all grouped together. A is for art in the sense that it is the special thing that the character can do, mostly tied to magic, or some sort of spellcraft, something that's not something that would be used with their might, something not used with their body. So typically, art is like their magic or like their special ability, if you want to say that. And P is for presence. That is sort of like their attraction or effect with their personality, or just kind of their demeanor, kind of their charm, their charisma, uh, sort of like that. So for Siciro Champlain, we have a 2/2 for might. Siciro is a horn scent from Gallerio. He's a naturalist. A naturalist is somebody that studies uh, the environment, nature, how it corresponds with civilization. Not exactly a druid or a ranger, more like a druid Sherlock Holmes, I guess. You could say that. A lot more, I don't want to say scientifically minded, but more scientifically conscious, I guess. Looks at the natural world and the civilized world and sees like, okay, how these two things interact, how they come into conflict, how they benefit each other, so forth and that. Galileo being the southern nation in Omen, very French, Spanish, Portuguese, Italian, sort of inspired in kind of just style, not necessarily culture, but just style. A horn scent, if the name wasn't evocative enough, these are people with horns. If you're coming from a specific D20 fantasy tieflings, very similar in appearance, though not similar in sort of origin. There is no, or there are no other planes in my world of Omen. No Feywild, Shadowfell, Heavens, Hells, Plane of Fire. None of that exists. These are just creatures that are here. But I do like that style. I think a good sort of high fantasy has that, horned, monstrous sort of feeling creature or people, culture. And for those, that's Horned Scent for me. Yeah, and over here you'll see their excuse me, the aspect dice that they have. It all starts at 6, and you'll see blank ones here that I will write in for if like there's a item or piece of gear or a potion that alters their base stats. Here I'll say he finds a potion of vigor or something like that that will make his defense +1. And you'll see here momentum and strain. On a success of completing an obstacle, you'll get 1 momentum. And momentums can be used for pretty much advantage or signature abilities. I haven't written them out. Typically in my system, character will start out with 2 signature abilities for each aspect. I just haven't gotten around to doing one for Siciro or Austin because I haven't really thought about or discovered what it is they're going to need or what they'll use. So I'll probably find that out through play. But typically you'd spend 1 momentum or 2 momentum and activate a signature ability, and that can alter things like maybe you hit 2 targets, or you concentrate something that's kind of an area of effect thing into 1 single target, or you just really need to convince this street urchin to tell me what they saw, and I just want to amplify my presence a little. And for the scene, it'll bump the presence to a 4 instead of a 3. And then we have strain. Notice there's no hit points, because I find that death in RPGs can be dramatic, but it rarely happens at a moment that should be dramatic or climactic. So instead we have strain. So pretty much these are your defense. And so if you roll and you fail, your defense will go down by 1. So say Siciro is talking to a local farmer, and like he just wants to get on the property, kind of take a look around. There's this noxious weed that's coming in from various parts of the forest. Just wants to check the farm, make sure that it's not spreading to his farm. And he's just kind of having a hard time with this obstinate fellow, and just is making very good arguments, but the dice are saying like, nope, this farmer doesn't want it. And keep rolling, and then it goes to 0, and then it's after you roll from 0. Like if it goes below 0, you will mark a strain. And once you mark a strain, the defense will reset, but that is also the end of the scene there. And once you fill up 5 strain, it's pretty much the end of the day. Like it's your character's exhausted, they're spent, they cannot continue, and it's a good way to keep failure being interesting, but not would have it be, well, the earth elemental steps on your head to make sure you're dead, sort of thing. And with momentum, though, if you fill it all the way up to 5, you can do a few things. You can clear all your strain. So say throughout a session, Siciro gets 4 strain. He's had a lot of failures, but he's had a lot of successes. And if gets up to 5, you can clear the strain. Also at 5, you can reset your defense. And at 5, you can also upgrade one of the aspect dice. So If I'm playing for a longer session and it looks like, well, I've got 5 momentum. I've had 5 of these good successes. I'm gonna upgrade my art to a D8 because the bonus is a little bit low, and having that uh, little statistical bonus or advantage would help them out. I could do that as well. If you strain in aspect that you have a dice bonus in, it also goes down a step. So, say I strain out on an art, it would go back down to a D6, and that number would reset. So it's fairly simple. I find it's very fast. Majority of the time, it's prepping for a game like this. I use Shield Dice Studios supplements, City Encounter Builder, and Wildlife Scenario Builder. I think I'll have to look. I like using those because it's very quick to just roll up. Okay, I'm in a forest. Roll, and it has these elements. And I'll probably be using that. As you can see, we have the blank hex map here. We have Grail, the town of Grail. And down here is the Holler. And, yeah. It sounds like my family duties are coming up upon me, so probably not going to be getting into a play just yet. Maybe later tonight, we'll see. I still got to fill out Austin Gertch's card a little bit more. Oh, I guess I could go into Austin Gertch a little bit. He is a Radiant from Grail. Now, Radiant, again, I hope the name is evocative. These would be very celestial, alien-looking creatures. They've got a lot more softer features. They have 4 fingers, or 3 fingers and a thumb. That's sets them about. They are a strange species in Omen. Their origins are very shrouded. When all the other people were coming over from the eastern continent, Radiants had not been seen. They were completely new, and they found a whole bunch of these Radiant on a ship as they were crossing the ocean, and just kind of like absorbed them into the collective massive flotilla of refugees that were crossing the ocean. And after 13 centuries, they're just kind of a people. Their origins are kind of completely unknown to them, but at this point, it's not really an issue for them as a people. Specifically, species. They're all just, people. Some are in Galroyo, some are in the Mirren lands. Yeah. And Austin is an inquisitor, less church secret police. An inquisitor from Grail is somebody on the borderlands whose job is more to settle disputes, kind of like a sheriff or detective, sort of like that. Less, hunting down heretics. Just somebody who goes and inquires, asks questions, like we saw a strange giant shadow lurking in the woods, and like, oh shoot, call Austin. He'll come down, he'll start investigating, might take a couple of locals, maybe some woodsmen, and go look into it. Just somebody with a little bit more local authority to make arrests or charge somebody with a crime if it turns out like, no, these people are trying to start a myth or a rumor in this part of town because they found like a good place to mine gold or to harvest resources, and they're trying to keep everybody out so they can secure as much of it for themselves. sort of like that. Anyways, all right, we are going to end it here. Hope you enjoyed the video. Like, comment, follow. Just to give you folks a little taste of what the Simpo solo system is kind of like. Oh, probably should do an example. Okay, let's, I've got nice shiny dice out here. So we will say that Siciro, he's coming down from Grail. He's on a horse. Austin is not on a horse. But this is a northern horse. He's from the south, where they're very more parade horses that he's used to. Very well mannered, very well tempered, very easily directed. The horse that you got from Grail is more a workhorse. This is a horse that's going to be carrying fallen logs to the mill and stuff like that. So he's having a little bit of trouble. So for that, I would say this is a difficulty 3-2. Mark that here. Horse 3-2. So the goal is that for success, he is able to overcome the obstinance of the horse, which is going to be a 2. So he needs to get 3 successes before he gets 3 failures in order to wrangle this horse. So this is going to be Siciro. This is going to be the horse. Oof. The horse does not like that. So his might, I probably should say, like, he's going to be using his might. He's going to be using his legs and, everything he knows about trying to guide a horse. So he's down to a 2-1 against the 3-2. All right. So that is another failure. So it's down to a 0. So when it gets to 0, it's not a failure. It's only a failure if it goes below 0. And part of that is because I want this feeling of, even if you're down for the count, you can still make an effort and come back and keep fighting even if you're at 0 before you take a strain. All right. Come on, Siciro. Nope. Siciro is going to need new dice before we start playing. I'll probably find another dice again. So it's past 0. It resets. We mark a strain. He is thrown from his horse, and we could say that Austin sort of laughs at him. He loses a little bit of respect from Austin. Like, geez, can't you even ride a horse? I thought you were supposed to be some sort of fancy naturalist, and like, it's just a horse. So we're like, I'm sorry, it's not the horse I'm used to. Apologies. Perhaps I shall just walk a little. Maybe I need to just get to know the animal better. Like, this horse doesn't even have a name. How can I direct it? Like, not every horse needs a namesake. It's just a horse, lovely animal, but come on, you're not marrying the thing. Like, northern backwaters, you might marry horses for all I know. All right there, fancy pants. Let's just get going. It's still about half a day to the Holler. Yeah, and it's simple as that. We have the obstacle. We have the range of success for determining the resolution. We rolled the resolution. And we got our outcome, which was, Siciro's off to a bad start today. All right. Well, with that, I'm going to end it here. We'll catch you all next time. Have a good day.